Hi, May here, back at it again with a brand new video, and in this video I'm going to share with you the 3 things that you must know before you start your social media marketing agency. It is honestly mind-boggling and pretty tragic most of the times when I see people get into the space without knowing these 3 things, and they go on to waste a lot of time, they go on to waste a lot of energy and money, whereas if they had just known these 3 things, then they would have been able to really speed their way up to success with their agency. So I'm super excited to share these with you because they have helped me tremendously during my journey from zero with my social media marketing agency to around $50,000 a month profit, which is where I'm currently at with my agency at the time you're watching this. So if you want to know what these 3 things are, all you gotta do is keep on watching. Oh, and by the way, these points will go in order of relevancy. So the first one will be definitely very important, but the last one will be the most relevant. So you really want to stick around till the end for the juiciest strategy that you want to keep in mind before you start your social media marketing agency. So with that being said, the first thing that you want to keep in mind is that social media marketing agency is not flashy, but it works. It's really funny to me to see so many different financial vehicles and business models out there currently, and most of them tend to be pretty flashy, right? For example, dropshipping, Amazon FBA, day trading, and a bunch of other cool sounding financial vehicles. And then we've got social media marketing agency, and an agency, you just offer a service for clients, right? And you get paid money in return. So it's not really flashy, but it really works. And so the first thing that I want you to keep in mind before you start your agency is this myth around passion, right? That you have to chase your passion and find your passion and find your true calling. And that is completely false, right? Passion comes from competence. And so you need to become very good at something to then become passionate about that thing. And so what you got to do when you start out, especially if you're young, is you want to try a bunch of different things. And so do not base your decisions on passion and emotion, right? It's honestly really tough to see so many people get paralyzed by this passion thing, right? They're constantly questioning, is this going to be my passion? Is this my true calling? And they don't take action because they're constantly thinking about, is this my passion? They're constantly questioning that business model. Number 1 is, if you don't try it, how are you going to know, right? And number 2 is, it's probably not going to be your passion at the start, right? But eventually you're going to find the vertical, the aspect of building an agency that you're truly passionate about. For me, for example, I started the traditional social media marketing agency with local business, and I've done a whole video detailing my journey. It's this one right here, from zero to $45,000 profit a month with my agency. And I started this agency and I really wasn't passionate about it, right? I was servicing local businesses, gym and health centers, and I really did not like that niche. And I also did not like that I was not in complete control over whether this client saw my value or not, right? Because we were optimizing for leads. We weren't actually directly generating money for them because we were not optimizing for sales. So for me, when I made the switch from local business to e-commerce, then I started becoming really passionate about e-commerce because e-commerce was something that I truly resonated with. My value was clear, right? We felt like a tangible and integral part of the success of this business, the growth of this business. My team and I were generously rewarded for it because we were charging a percentage of the results that we're getting for clients. And I also found that I loved connecting with e-commerce business owners way more than local business owners because we shared a lot of similar traits and interests. And so I found my passion within the e-com space, and it took around 6 to 8 months to do that. So what I want you to keep in mind before you start your agency is that yes, it is not flashy, right? And you also don't have to be passionate about the business model that you choose. You need to be logical and rational about picking your business model, right? And when you've picked it, then you can find your passion within that business model. You can find the aspect of that business model that you absolutely love. For example, for me, as I just told you, it was growing businesses online, but I did not let the fact that I didn't know this before I started my agency paralyze me to not actually start my business. So that is the first thing that I want you to keep in mind. The final thing that I will say on this is, if something's not flashy, then it's actually way better because a lot of the things that come around in the online business space are fads, right? They're gonna be here for 6 months, 8 months, right? But after that, poof, they're gone, right? It's just a fad. It's not an actual business model. So that is the final thing to keep in mind, the fact that it is actually good news when something's not flashy, because then it doesn't attract the tire kickers who are just in it for the quick bucks. And it's also not a fad, which means the social media marketing agency business model has true longevity, and it's actually a real business model where we are adding value to businesses and we're also building a team and taking care of them. So that is the first point that you want to keep in mind. And now onto the second one. Now, the next thing you want to do before you start your agency is gently tap the like button on this video. So helps out with the algorithm, but most importantly tells the algorithm that you enjoy this type of content, that you enjoy social media marketing agency content, and it's content that's really going to help you out during your journey. So if you don't want to miss any of that and also help out the channel a ton, you can go ahead and make that gray like button turn blue. I would really appreciate it, and the YouTube gods would be incredibly happy. So go ahead and do that. And with that being said, let's get back into the video. The second thing to keep in mind before you start your agency is understanding that Sales on outreach is incredibly important to grow your agency, right? Without clients, you can actually grow an agency, but what actually matters is the client. I feel like there's a lot of talk in this space about how to sign clients. And to be fair, I speak a lot about sales and outreach. I talk about how to automate your outreach, and I talk about my automated sales funnel. And I'm extremely passionate about that because it wasn't until I had my automated outreach funnel, turning out hundreds of meetings every single month, that I wasn't able to scale my agency past that 25, 30, and 50K mark. So I'm extremely passionate about that because I truly believe that until you have your sales and outreach on lock and actually turning out meetings, it's going to be very hard to scale your agency. But I feel like a lot of people go into the space and they think that it's all about signing clients, right? And so maybe they sign a client and they've completely neglected during the whole journey and during this whole time that they've started their agency that the client needs to be taken care of, right? The client is looking to get incredible results. And if you don't manage to do that, then you're not gonna have that client for a very long time. And the reason why that's incredibly vital is because number one, reputation is everything when it comes to the B2B space. Number two is if you don't get your client results, you're gonna feel very miserable. I get a lot of people daily coming to me applying for my mentorship, and some of them are making really decent money, right? They're making maybe 10, 15, 20K a month, but they are miserable because they are getting paid good money for something they cannot do well. And so their clients are incredibly unhappy with them and they feel this constant pressure because they cannot deliver for their clients. That's the second thing. The third thing is, going back to that, constant pressure, you feel this anxiety and this pressure every single month because you know that, one of your clients is always going to drop you, right? And, maybe you have a 2-3 month minimum, and every single time after those 3 months, you're having to, go on to sign that next client. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a predictable way of signing clients. You should always have your pipeline full, but you want to build an agency that has true longevity and you're building client on top of client. That is the way you want to build your agency. I'm not saying that, a client won't ever leave you, right? That will probably never happen. Everyone, including me, has lost clients during the journey, right? But you really want to optimize for that longevity and for that client experience. For example, in my case right now, I've got a 14-month retention rate and I cannot stop talking about it because it's something that I'm really, really passionate about, because it's not only my efforts, like for example, creating my automated sales funnel, that was my effort, right? But when it comes to delivering results for really high-end clients that are paying us 5, 6, 7K, even 10K a month retainers, if you include performance-driven incentives, right? Getting those type of results that keeps them around for a very long time is the effort of my team, right? And myself. So it's the whole coordination, the management of the team, making sure that you have the right systems, the right communication protocols, the right reporting protocols, so that all in all, the client is very, very happy with the agency. So I'm incredibly passionate about the whole client experience and client obsession. And it's honestly a shame that a lot of people don't find the love and don't fall in love with that side of the game, which is getting results for your clients, getting them to stay around for a long time, giving you incredible referrals. I'm sure everyone wants that, but from what I've seen is that lack of understanding the importance and having the awareness also that you need to be able to deliver incredible results for your clients. Now, on the practical side of things, what shape does client obsession take? The first shape is an irresistible offer. Before you even go into market, understanding, okay, what does my specific niche really need and what is the best solution to their biggest problem, right? And not only that, but how am I going to put this in front of them so that they've never seen something quite like this before? And that can come down to your pricing, that can come down to your minimum retention, right? That can come down to your money back guarantee, whatever it is, but you need to get clear on that irresistible offer. The second shape that it takes is hiring incredible people for your team, right? Sure that it's not client facing, your clients are not pushing you to hire those people, but it's for the good and respect of the client that you need to have the best people in your team. I see a lot of people, and I know this as well because I made this mistake when I started out. They hire on a whim, right? They hire very quickly. They rush into that decision, and not only that, but most of the times, this decision is rooted on how can I keep my profit margins as fat and as healthy as possible, right? And of course, I'm not saying give up 50% of your profit margins, but I'm saying hire the right people and don't go cheap on the people that you hire, because that's what's going to keep your clients around for a very long time. And sure, in the short term, you might not make as much profit, but if you're thinking long term, it's really going to benefit you. And the final shape that it takes is through your reporting and your communication protocols that you have with your client. How often are you reaching out to them? What type of reporting sheets do you have? What do you cover on the actual calls? In your team, do you have assigned tasks for communication and reporting to make sure that you're constantly on top of things and you're constantly updating your client, keeping them in the loop throughout the whole journey? So that is the second thing that you want to keep in mind before you start your agency. And now to the third and final point. The third and final point is understanding that you don't have to be a Facebook ads or a Google ads or an email marketing expert before you start your agency. This knowledge barrier is usually the number one thing that prevents people from starting their agency. They think that to be able able to start their agency, they need to master Facebook ads and they need to be an absolute expert at their craft, at the service that they're going to offer. The first thing you need to understand is you're never going to be a Facebook ads expert if you don't get experience under your belt. It's not one of those things that you can just read about in a book or watch a few videos on it and then all of a sudden you are an expert. It's almost a bit like a sport. Sure, you can watch a bunch of videos on how to play football or tennis, right? But until you get on that court, you're not going to improve your skills. So the first thing applies for Facebook ads. Until you actually spend money on Facebook, until you actually run ads, you see the little nuances when it comes to running ads. You understand when you should kill or skill an ad, right? When it comes to Facebook ads as well, there's as much of a science as there's an art. So art cannot be so much taught, but it can be practiced and it can be fostered by execution, right? So it's one of those things that to become an expert at, you would have to spend 3 to 5 years in the trenches, right? Actually implementing to be a Facebook ads expert. And so what we want to do instead is we want to seek out the people that are already at that position and that are completely fine just doing the Facebook ads, right? They don't want to start their agency. They just love what they do. They just love their craft. They love helping out other agencies, right? And so we're using value arbitrage and we're playing to our strengths. Now, having said that, a lot of people then ask, okay, if I don't have to be a Facebook ads expert, if I'm not even going to be doing the Facebook ads because I'm going to be bringing on an expert in my team, right? What are you actually doing? What is the point of this whole thing, right? What is your value as an agency owner? And that is a fair question. But the best way to understand it is by analyzing pretty much every single business out there. For example, you take a look at a school, right? In that school, there are teachers, and these teachers teach the students, right? But the entity, the organization, the people that actually make the most money are not the teachers. They are the people that put together that school, right? And that hosted those teachers, the people that hired those teachers, the people that put together these systems, the people that put together the environment for those teachers to thrive, right? The people that went ahead and got students to join that school, right? The people that created an incredible culture for students to feel excited about joining that school. So yes, the teachers play a crucial part, an absolutely crucial part, right? Without teachers, there would be no school, right? But the teachers do not make the business. The same thing applies for restaurants, apps like Uber, Airbnb, and a ton of other businesses. You need to understand that as the business owner, as the agency owner, your value is creating an incredible A-team. Your value is creating incredible systems, processes, creating an incredible culture and team environment for people to thrive, right? Going out and signing clients, getting people excited about your agency, your mission, what you're trying to do in the space, right? Having the audacity to shoot for big goals with your agency, right? Pointing people in the right direction you want to take with your business, and a ton of other really crucial decisions. So that is our value as the agency owner, but that doesn't mean that we should be doing the service. And it also means that just because we're not doing the service, we're taking the easy way out or cheating people of their expertise. Absolutely not, right? Another thing that I get asked a lot is like, why would a contractor do this? Why would a contractor work under you? Because they absolutely love their craft and you're literally handing them clients. They absolutely dread, most of them, they absolutely dread the sales side of things, right? So as entrepreneurs, we usually put more pressure on our shoulders. We usually take more risks because we want a greater reward, okay? And so some people are completely fine just limiting their scope of work, doing the number one thing they're passionate about, and not really mastering a bunch of other cool stuff like, sales, communication, team building, systems, processes, etc., etc. So that is the final thing that you want to keep in mind before you start your social media marketing agency. That is that for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a massive thumbs up. It helps out a ton with the algorithm, the whole channel, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you haven't checked out my free masterclass on how to sign and keep 4-figure clients for your social media marketing agency, I don't know what you're doing. I literally get people DMing me every single day, telling me the content that I packed in there is actually more valuable than stuff they paid for. Okay, and literally people implementing the strategies, implementing some of the scripts that I show you in there to get results. So if you haven't given it a watch, I don't know what you're doing, you can go ahead and check it out with the link on the description. If you haven't subbed to my channel, there's so much content coming out on entrepreneurship, social media marketing agency, sales, and a bunch of the really cool topics. So if you don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos, go ahead and sub to my channel and hit the little bell icon so you never miss an update. And as always, hope everything's going well in your journey, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.